Donald Trump is lashing out again. And this time it is over social media coverage of his planned meeting with Vladimir Putin. In this rambling Truth Social post, Trump blasted what he called the very unfair media and accused journalists of quoting fired losers like former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Bolton recently warned that even though the meeting with Putin is on American soil in Alaska, that Putin has really already won. And this has very clearly hit a nerve. So Trump went on and tried to insist we're winning everything. All of these people reporting things about my meeting with Putin. Here is what Trump had to say. Quote, very unfair media is at work on my meeting with Putin, constantly quoting fired losers and really dumb people like John Bolton, who just said that even though the meeting is on American soil, Putin has already won. What's that all about? We are winning on everything. The fake news is working overtime. No tax on overtime. If I got Moscow and Leningrad free as part of the deal with Russia, the fake news would say that I made a bad deal. But now they've been caught. Look at all of the real news that's coming out about their corruption. They are sick and dishonest people who probably hate our country, but it doesn't matter because we are winning on everything. MAGA. This is consequential. Trump's outburst, it's always sort of about his ego. It's also a revealing snapshot of how he views American foreign policy, especially towards Russia. He equates success with getting Moscow and Leningrad for free. And this reminds us that everything for him is like a real estate deal, territory swaps. This is how you define a victory. And the Bolton comment that set him off really goes to a deeper concern, which is the optics and the substance of Donald Trump's interactions with Putin. He's hosting the Russian leader on U.S. soil. He has no clear policy wins to announce. And what this can allow is Moscow to project strength and legitimacy, even if there is not a single concession that is made by Donald Trump. And that's what Bolton means, Bolton, by the way, warmongering guy that I am not a fan of, but Bolton does understand the Trump-Putin dynamic. That's what Bolton means by Trump has already lost, Putin has already won, by this meeting taking place in Alaska. And so in foreign policy terms, Trump is kind of betraying an ongoing theme. His personal image and what's good for the country are being totally conflated, but they're actually very different things. Trump is going to measure the success of a summit not really by the strategic outcomes. Do we actually get close to a resolution with Ukraine and Russia? What about modifying Russia's belligerent behavior? Are there arms control commitments? What about cyber intrusion? Trump is basically going by, is it framed as a win for me personally by the press? And it's that very fixation on optics over substance that is what a lot of critics, Democratic critics and even Republican critics, are so terrified about when it comes to Trump and foreign policy. Trump's defensiveness also kind of hits on a very fragile balancing act that he's trying to maintain. Because on the one hand, Trump does want to portray himself as this master negotiator who can reset relations with Russia and achieve something. But on the other hand, he operates in an environment where there is very high skepticism towards Putin, even in the Republican Party. And so what you end up with is this cycle where any criticism of his approach gets framed not as a legitimate policy debate, but as an attack on the United States itself. And that's quite frankly, it's a stupid place to be. So if the meeting with Putin does indeed happen, I believe Friday it's scheduled to be, we know what the foreign policy stakes are, and we know theoretically what might we want to come out of it. But it's going to be read not for what is on the agenda, but what does it signal about America-Russia relations under Trump's leadership? Is this a calculated diplomatic engagement? Is it a made-for-TV moment, sort of like when Trump stepped into the demilitarized zone with Kim Jong-un and between North and South Korea? What is it going to be? And because of Trump's ego and Trump's concern with how am I seen? How does the media report on me? I hope I'm wrong. My expectation is zero substantive progress and a photo op for Donald Trump, which may go well or it may not. I concede that it's possible that the photo op goes well. So I want to hear from you. What do you think is going to happen at this meeting? Will the meeting even take place that's scheduled for Friday? You can email me info@davidpakman.com. On the bonus show today, Ken Paxton has asked a judge to jail Beto O'Rourke for fundraising the walkout of Texas Democrats. Number two, the Supreme Court has now been asked to overturn the landmark same-sex marriage ruling from 2015. We knew they were going to try it. They're trying it. And finally, there is a bill to make all pornography a federal crime. It's moving forward to committee. It's Mike Lee. I don't know that will be a shock to many of our viewers and listeners. Mike Lee is the Republican senator who wants that. All of those stories and more are on today's bonus show. Sign up at joinpakman.com. I'll see you then.